Hello, everybody. In today's video, we are talking about Amber Reid's members only live stream. It's still going to remain $10 a month, and she's going to live stream twice a week. An update on her schedule. We're going to be discussing this. So basically, in this 1 hour live stream, she's now live streaming for 1 hour. She had a full breakdown over Rarity and Tommy's allegations against her. I think it's all performative. She's just upset that she got caught. So she also accused Tommy of lying and being a liar, and everything is a lie. Does the fun ever start? So we're going to get into my recap of her members only live stream. If you could not tell already, everything I'm saying just for entertainment purposes only. I'm sharing my own opinions, not facts, and publicly accessible information, first made public by public figures. Please don't go to these people's channels and leave mean-spirited, negative, disparaging comments. Entertainment purposes only. Amber, I don't believe a word of what you're trying to put out there. All right, so towards the 1 minute mark of her live stream, last stream, basically when she's almost done talking to people and presenting them with absolute nonsense and fluff, and we'll get to what I mean in a few minutes, basically she starts crying and having a full breakdown over Rarity and Tommy. So for those of you that didn't see my video from yesterday, Tommy said the following about Amber, that pretty much Amber, quote unquote, lost Rarity, her cat, while she was visiting Tommy in Wisconsin the day that Tommy told Amber that she needed to go home to Oklahoma and she needed to leave, which is something that Amber lied about for a very long time and said that Tommy never asked her to leave. But there's an implication here that Amber, quote unquote, lost Rarity, because she was being told to leave. Amber claims she left the door open for 20 minutes. I never believed Amber. I think that there's something else going on. Amber has a very long-standing history of doing this to animals. We'll get to that as well. So here's what she says about Tommy, which I found very, very interesting. She says, I should have never gone there in general, and every single day I live with regret. But it's something that I have to live with forever, meaning that she should have never visited Tommy in general in Wisconsin, and she says she should have never, ever, ever brought her pets. So the breakdown goes from her simply crying to then not even supposedly being able to talk. She starts getting very, very upset. And she says this, for anyone to believe that she would do something to Rarity, a cat that she loved, and her cat was her soulmate, you people have to be insane to believe that. Then she says, see, so she's so upset, right? She's supposedly having a breakdown. It's supposedly real, right? That she immediately needs to say, outside of your weird fixation with me, like, just think about it for 2 seconds. I've made so much progress, but it's being ripped from me. Of course, obviously, Rarity running away from you and your girlfriend at the time, Tommy, asking you to leave and to vacate the premises that you were on is clearly your audience's fault. It couldn't have been that you went to visit a complete stranger to you that you had seen for a week or 2 weeks prior to that. You had moved yourself in. You were becoming, in my opinion, a burden to her, like you always are in all of your relationships. It's your audience's fault. If you're having a true breakdown and a panic attack or whatever the situation is, why would you immediately talk about the YouTube audience being obsessed with you and having a weird fixation with you? No one has a weird fixation with you. People are responding to what you put on the internet. For example, I've been on the internet as long as you have, and I would never say that people have a weird fixation with me. That's because it's just a response to what I'm putting on the internet. If I acted like you, there would be a totally different response. No one is obsessed with you. People are sick and tired of you having animals, owning animals, and making sure that they, quote unquote, run away or something happens where they're no longer there. You've done that to your ex Destiny's cat, Gracie, where you blamed it on the roommate. Oh, she ran away. Your ex Beck told us how Rarity ran away from you many times. You cannot be trusted around animals, like not taking Twinkie, your elderly dog, to the vet when she's shaking in pain, not cutting her nails. Like, there is a plethora of, there is so much evidence against you and what you've done to your animals. So she continues to cry and say how she's so upset that people would believe that she would ever do something like that to her cat Rarity. Her mother called her, and she didn't want to bombard her mother with this, but then she started crying, and her mother said Amber, because she tells us that her mommy calls her Amber, even though Amber says she doesn't like the name Amber. Whatever gets you there, Pookie Reid. So she says that mommy said, Amber, anyone, that knows you loved your cat. And, Amber just says it's not fair. 2 questions that I have. First of all, what kind of progress have you made, Amber? What kind of progress has Amber Reid made? She has had numerous animals run away on her watch numerous times. You have lost Rarity, and this isn't the first time that she ran away from you. What is the progress that you speak of? Also, you know what's really odd to me? That whenever anyone accuses her of anything, she says, my mom says I'm a good person. My mom says I didn't do it. First of all, a person that isn't guilty doesn't need to say, you can ask my mom. I mean, are you serious? Do you actually think that we're going to take the word of your mother? A woman that, if you had never gotten broken up with by Feline, this woman would have never been in your life. In all the times that you've been an adult, she's visited you a whopping time of 1 when you were ill. She has not made any effort to have a relationship with you. She, by magic, has a relationship with you now because you got dumped by ex-Feline and you ran over to Oklahoma so you would have a chauffeur and a driver to take you to Target and Walmart. Why should we trust the person that didn't even make any effort to be in your life, even when she had rebuilt her own life? I don't trust her with anything that she says. Also, here's a wild idea. Maybe your mom genuinely believes that you didn't get rid of Rarity and that you're not to blame because your mother doesn't know you very well. How long has she even been in your life? What, she's been hanging out with you for 3 years prior to that? Why didn't she ever visit you? My point is, I do not believe that you telling us that we're supposed to believe your mother means anything. You know what she's doing here, right? It's a manipulation tactic. She knows that the majority of her audience likes her mom. So if my mommy says I didn't do it, that means I didn't do it. Amber, you can't actually, as an adult, believe that people will automatically believe your mom and your mom's supposed trust in you. No one cares. And she just says that people have the wrong idea when it comes to her and her pets, right? Now, she's crying, she's inconsolable, she's crying. And as soon as, I kid you not, I'm going to show you a screenshot. As soon as it gets to 1 hour and 1 minute, she just stops crying and logs off. Now, I'm going to ask you to just use your own experience, your own feelings, your own thoughts to give me an answer, and you can comment down below. Do you really think if you were having a true breakdown over your ex Tommy and over your cat no longer being here, do you think that you would have noticed the time as you were breaking down and crying and you were inconsolable over your cat that's no longer with us and all that stuff and your ex is exposing you? Do you really think you would have noticed the time and that you would have stopped by magic? I love it when magic gets involved. Get your own channel, magic. By magic, you stopped at exactly 1 hour and 1 minute and logged off because your time was up. What am I trying to say with that? It seems performative. I think this is all fake. I think she's upset that she got caught, not that she did it. And I think that she's embarrassed that Tommy is exposing her. Whether or not they're together, we're going to discuss in a minute, because she actually says something outrageous in the video that she's only been single for like a few hours. So there you go. I think it's an on and off thing, but we're going to get to it in a minute. But basically, Amber, how are you, like, this is my question. How are you actually asking people and telling people, like, why do you have this false belief about me and how when I come to my animals and like how I treat my pets, when if it wasn't for ex-wifey, Twinkie wouldn't have been walked. You admitted that wifey did all of Twinkie's stuff. You admitted that Beck did all of Twinkie's stuff, right? And I think my personal opinion is that you barely walk Twinkie. And by the way, the bottom line is, Every single one of your girlfriends have come out, who have spoken out against you, have said that you mistreat your animals, okay? Beck told us that, for example, even when you were in a much better situation and much more independent than you are right now, what were you doing? You were having little pads for Twinkie. You weren't even walking her. Okay. Bottom line is she cries, she cries, she cries until the very end of the 1 hour and 1 minute mark. I think it's all performative and fake. I think she wants to put on a show. She's upset she got caught. I believe Tommy that Tommy asked you to leave her house. That is 100%. And I believe that the circumstances, and this is just my opinion, I am not saying she did anything to Rarity, but I believe that the circumstances under which Rarity disappeared are at the very least suspicious. It's one or two things. Either it's what Tommy said, you lost your cat the minute that you got told that, hey, you have to leave my house in Wisconsin, okay? Or you were so upset with having to leave. It was on your mind. You made a YouTube video saying something was heavily on your mind that you didn't notice Rarity leaving and left the door open for 20 minutes like you claimed. In the Wisconsin snow and winter, I just like this story doesn't even make any sense. You would clearly feel the cold by leaving the door open for 20 minutes. I believe that Rarity's disappearance is suspicious at best. In the last members only live stream, we talked about this. She actually wanted to have a moment of silence for Rarity. How do you know she's no longer with us, Amber? What do you know, Amber? What do you know? I want to take you back for 1 second. When her girlfriend's cat Gracie disappeared years ago, Amber went around immediately saying, I know she's in a better place. She's probably in a better place. How do you know that? Just like Amber, how do you know that we should have a moment of silence for Rarity now? How do you know that? Maybe she's been adopted. Why would we have a moment of silence for somebody that is clearly still alive and adopted? You've extensively, if you don't know, Amber has extensively said that Rarity is probably well somewhere. But you see, she always slips. You know the truth, don't you? That's why you wanted to have a moment of silence for her. There's rumors that she's adopting a new kitten. The rumors are started by her because she said that she might be getting a new kitten. I can only hope that the universe and whoever, whatever you believe in, I hope whoever that is with that kitten, because they don't really stand a great chance, because you have a track record of leaving the door open and having cats run away from you, right? So she regrets ever going to Tommy's. Okay, when your audience told you not to go and that you don't know this person, you told us we were just being haters. By the way, she called Tommy a liar in a public YouTube post. Let's take a look at it really quickly. Okay, so I don't believe a word of this. I just now checked social media for the day. Haven't been on it as much lately, hence why I haven't been uploading. This is your job. How are you not on social media when this is the only way that you make money? You are doing nothing at your job. And I noticed lots of rumors being spread. Just so everyone knows, all of it is a lie, but everyone will believe what they want anyway. So this is the only time I'll ever speak on it. Well, it wasn't the only time she spoke on it. Putting my energy into a large group of people who only will ever see the bad in me is not something I want in my life anymore. I'm trying very hard to focus on my mental health and my sanity. That is why I'm saying bye to constantly engaging in bad stuff and saying bye to people in my life that destroy any piece of sanity I do have. But if you're wanting drama and for me to speak on any rumors being spread about me, it isn't happening. I'm in protection mode in more ways than one. Protect your mental health at all costs, even if it makes you look like the bad guy when you weren't. You are constantly having something to do with various animals' disappearance. So I don't see how you could say you're not here. And then she says she's going live at 8:30. Okay, so few things here. As far as you saying that you were, had no idea, you didn't know that rumors were being spread about you, which we will get to later. Of course you did. My opinion is you spread the rumors yourself, and you waited until almost the time of your live stream to address anything, to make speculation grow and to make people try to forget what Tommy revealed about you. And of course you knew the whole day. I'm going to put it to you like this. How is it possible that this woman knows every single thing I've ever said but doesn't watch reaction channels and doesn't watch me? Because she knows every single thing I've ever said about her. But she just wasn't on the internet the whole day? Right. Okay. As far as her saying that Tommy is lying, she's accusing Tommy of being a liar and lying. I believe Tommy. I don't believe you. You have a history and a very large track record of lying. And here's the most important thing, and I want you to really think about this. Every single one of Amber's exes who has come out and spoken out against her, Amber immediately says is lying. So, Destiny is lying, Beck is lying, and now Tommy is lying. Oh, and also Valentine is lying. So four random people that Amber dated, one of the girls she never even met, it was in her head, she was dating her, but four random people that don't know each other from very different cities, from different times in her life, are all lying. But the woman that has numerous monetized pieces of content on YouTube stating, I lied, I'm sorry, and has been caught in numerous lies and is a professional deceiver, is not lying. Why would Tommy lie about asking you to leave her house? Why would she lie about that? It was obvious that she did. It was palpable. Your whole audience could feel it from your constant crying in Wisconsin. And why would she say that you lost her on a day where she asked you to vacate her premises? My point here is this. There is no way that Amber accuses Beck and Destiny and Valentine and now Tommy of lying, and all of them are lying and Amber is telling the truth. Her entire breakdown was calculated, and listen to what I'm telling you right now. It was calculated in her members only live stream that we just discussed to fit into the 1 hour and 1 minute mark, and immediately she left. It was fabricated for your enjoyment. And she also says this in the members only live stream. Oh, well, it's too bad this is behind a paywall. Amber, if you have something to say about Tommy's allegations, come on your public YouTube channel and respond to it, or respond to it in your next public live that you plan you're gonna, you say you're gonna have. So basically, I think her breakdown over Tommy, she's just sad that she couldn't manipulate Tommy any longer, and now the truth is really coming out. Oh, one more point. Somebody actually says to her, crazy the coincidence that you haven't been checking social media, but just so happened to today. And Amber, as always, wants to tell on herself. Just listen to this answer. I said I haven't been on it much lately. I go on it daily, but just now checked it today for the first time. And 3 people thumbs this up. I don't go much on social media, but go on it daily. So if you don't do something much at all, do you think you do it every day, daily? That's what she's saying. So she's lying straight to people's faces. One more thing about her live stream before we get to all the other drama. During her live stream, she's trying to pad the live stream, members only lives, with fluff because she needs to get through that hour. She says everybody's names. That takes, I know that it may seem little, but it's not. She's a calculated. So she says everybody's names, she reads them all out, and then she talks about her hair and clips for the hair and what's going on with her hair. This takes at least 3 minutes. She talks about the weather. This takes at least 1 minute. She talks about random fluff stuff. She wants to pad the live stream with irrelevant stuff. And here's why. Because even if that took 7 minutes, it's 7 minutes that she doesn't have to live stream. Amber, I see you. Something very interesting in the members only live. She says that she is not ready yet to go live publicly. When will you ever be ready? This is a bad sign for her going public. Like, it's not a good sign. I think she may never go live publicly. Imagine, I just want you to think about something. Imagine this live stream after the allegations from Tommy, if it was public. Imagine all the comments that she now doesn't have to see. Okay? So I think she's just too scared to go live publicly. If you're too scared now, you'll always be too scared. I believe Tommy, and I don't believe that all of your exes, because you've accused every single ex of lying, is lying and you're telling the truth. More than likely, the majority of what they're saying is true and what you're saying is not. So you can cry over Rarity and Tommy all you want, and you can say, well, I should have never gone there. But the truth remains that she asked you to leave. And that's the day you supposedly lost Rarity. Did you lose Rarity? Why did you have a moment of silence for Rarity? What do you know? Some other things that she says about Tommy. She says something very interesting. She says that, like, her ex, she's got to be meaning Tommy. So, okay. She says, my ex was pretty much the only one that really enjoyed my likeness, right? And then she says, well, I feel that I've been lied to my whole life, like pretty much like by all her other exes about this topic. You know what I don't understand? Well, actually, I think I do understand this a little bit too well, Pookie, because I know you and I know that you're not being honest. If you watched her for all these years, and I did, she would always come on the internet and say, Oh, my exes love me how I am. They love me. They're into me. They're all this other stuff. Now she's saying pretty much, if you listen very carefully to what she has to say, that Tommy was the only one that really liked her, right? And liked her likeness. Amber, which one is it? Is it that they all were into you or only Tommy? She then says that she's not interested in having drama. Yeah, after having a breakup, after having a breakdown, after continuously doing these dramatic live streams. Imagine saying that you're not interested in having drama in your live streams and still having drama in your live streams. What's the point? Your channel thrives on drama. Without drama, you can't carry. Look, drama carries your channel when there are no side characters. You cannot carry your channel by yourself. I hate to break it to you, you don't have main character energy. You never did. It was always other side characters, and now drama is your side character. Be thankful you even have drama. She also says, so, before she had this breakdown about Tommy, she said this. She said that she had a panic attack and she was crying at 5 p.m. and she was having this breakdown, and, her mom called her, and then she was like to herself, well, I have to go on live stream, so I'm going to order sushi. That's what she says. Okay, wonderful. One more point about Tommy. So she gets asked in this live stream, how long have you been single? And she says something like 3 hours. Okay, 3 hours? And then she says, oh, I'm just joking. I don't think she's just joking. First of all, since she's so mature for her age, I don't think that she's joking. I think what's going on here is very simple. I think this is just my opinion, not a fact, but I'm 100 on this. I think she's on and off with Tommy. I think that she talks to her, everything's okay, then she stops talking to her, and then Tommy exposes her and says, like, because Tommy has said in it, certain things about Amber that are not that are like very, like doing little mini exposés on Instagram. Tommy, come out with your own full video already. So when she says, I've only been single for 3 hours, I don't think she's joking. I think they are on and off. That's what I believe. And or slash, she has another girlfriend. Obviously, look, it's possible that she has another girlfriend. I've said that from the start, but I definitely think her saying that she's only been single for 3 hours is suspicious. She's probably on and off with Tommy, and when Tommy says something she doesn't like, then they're off again, then they're on again. Then I'm sure Amber has another girlfriend on the side. Amber does say, for what it's worth, and I don't believe anything she says, obviously, that she doesn't want to be in relationships anymore. She wants to keep her circle very, very, very small. Her mom is her friend. And then she has friends that she sees out once a week. And when she said that, it's very palpable when somebody's lying. You could feel it. She was obviously not telling the truth. So you want to keep your circle small? Fabulous. You want to just be friends with your mom? Even better. You want to lie to your audience? I don't think so. Okay, I don't think she has these friends that she. What does that even mean? You see your friends out once in a while, once in a week. What do you mean? You mean they just appear outside? Like you say, I would like to see my friend now. And they just appear, right? Of course. By the way, nothing wrong with not having friends. I think some people are loners. I think some people just do better by themselves. I think it's great not to have friends. I've said that many, many times before. Just still to this day do not understand why she lies about this topic. Nothing wrong with not having friends. Lying about the topic, that is the very odd thing to do. But yes, she's been single for 3 hours. Just kidding. No, I think she's on and off with Tommy. All right, let's talk about her schedule. So she is changing her live streaming schedule yet again. It's absolutely inappropriate to continue to change your live stream schedule and breach your contract. Look, people agree to one type of contract. Yes, she definitely is in charge of picking the date and times and all that stuff that she streams. But she is continuing to change the terms of the contract. She's breaching her contract, and I think people should cancel, okay? The way that you treat people, Amber, how you block people, how you lie. In this live stream, she again said, listen to this. Listen. In this live stream, she actually says, I have had people blocked, but I unblocked everyone. She says this, right? Then she says that she has certain words blocked in the live streams. And then she goes back and says that some people are blocked. Like, make it make sense. You understand what I'm saying? Either everyone is blocked or they're not. Of course people are blocked. You block people during the streams. She admits that, but yet continues to say that people are not blocked. I've been blocked for years. Anyways, back to her new schedule. So she's breaching the contract yet again that she has with her, followers, that people that are paying $10 a month. So first of all, the price will remain $10 a month. It's not going to be $4.99 a month. It's not going to be $5.99 a month the way that she clearly stated last week. So the price is remaining at $10 a month. Then there's going to be supposedly two different live streams, one on Sunday night that is an hour and one on Tuesday night that is an hour. And this next part is up in the air, a big maybe. Maybe one of those live streams is going to be public and maybe the other one will be private. So that means that one live stream, everyone will publicly be able to see, and the other live stream, the only people that are actually paying $10 a month will be able to see. She actually has enough audacity to say the only people that are allowed to talk to me in my streams are the people that are members. And I'm just like sitting here like, allowed to talk to you? Who do you think you are? Tomorrow, YouTube disappears. Do you think you'll be employed? I don't think so. I don't think that you'll ever be employed again unless you go to another website. Darling, people may hire you, but a basic Google search and your track record and the way that you show up to work. I mean, listen to this. She actually says that she's going to film a video, I guess, tonight or tomorrow morning and do a big update video, which says to me that she has not worked for a week. How is she paying her bills if she hasn't even worked for a week? Since her last Monday vlog, she has not even filmed anything. It's a wonderful time to be alive, girls. So basically, that's the update on the schedule. I don't think you should take it seriously because next week she's going to change it again. In the beginning of her live stream, she has people tell her the truth about how she keeps changing her schedule. She says, we decided last week that I'm going to do a 1 hour live stream. And somebody says to her, you decided this for us. Okay, you decided this for us. And she says, oh yeah, well, it'll be a really good idea. Like, what kind of... I can't. So this is how you answer with manipulation. Yeah, I decided it and it's going to be a really good idea. So she's basically saying that she's keeping the price the same because you're still getting 2 hours throughout the week. Opinion on this whole situation is stream whenever you want. But if you were a viewer in last week's live stream and she said it's going to be $4.99 or $5.99 once a week, now she's saying something totally different. And if you didn't catch this live, you don't even know when to show up to a live. I understand that we're all really informal here and this is self-employment, but this is really unprofessional. Okay, even for us being really informal, this is not the way that you run a membership. That's just my opinion. Amber doesn't even know herself what day she's streaming, what time. She keeps changing the rules. How do you expect people to even watch your live streams if you keep changing the rules every week? And she wants to do less and less and less work. She addresses some rumor that was going on around. I personally believe that she started the rumor herself to take attention away from her situation with Tommy and Rarity. I think she started it herself because the rumor was like created so people would worry about her, right? Like, oh, where is she right now? Is she here? Is she, where did she go? That type of rumor. And I think that she created the rumor herself. Like, that is my opinion. I'm 100 on it. She has many times before created situations in order to take the audience's attention away from what was going on. She wanted your attention on something else. And she says, I only have notifications on for Snapchat and messages. So she has turned off all of her YouTube notifications on her phone. So all of your positive messages, whoever likes her content and you're sending positive messages, she never sees it. She has turned you off. Like, imagine this being your only source of income and your job, and you've turned off all of your YouTube notifications. Okay. She then discusses some streamer who had a sassy comeback. Somebody left them like a mean comment and they left one back. She then is like, oh, well, I can be a sassy queen sometimes. That's what she actually said. Ma'am, this is your job. Like, honestly, how are you not embarrassed to say these things on live stream? It's amazing. And she says, oh, me and Chantal Foodie Beauty, who has admitted to not caring for you. She says, me and Chantal, people are always mean to us. And when we respond back by matching their energy, people are like upset about it. I'm not a cruel or mean person, she says. And she says that she doesn't say mean things, but she can be a sassy queen. Amber, you have literally mistreated all of your animals. You've documented that by not taking Twinkie, your aging dog, while she was shaking in pain to a vet, but instead going to Chili's with Destiny, by not cutting her nails, by having your cats constantly running away. Like, are you kidding? Like, let me ask you something, Amber. Are you okay? Like, when you're saying these things, like, what do you think we're thinking? When you're blatantly, continuously lying. I'm gonna tell you this about Chantal. She also talks about, oh, she could never shave her head the way that Chantal did. Like, people talk about what they think about. So you're thinking about Chantal. You're not even a moment in Chantal's mind. She's out there in Syria with no electricity, and she could live stream for 5 hours a day. Or, I mean, honestly, because that's a person that actually needs money. Obviously, Amber, you, in my opinion, have money coming in elsewhere. You obviously are being paid to do something else on the side, because I don't care how much money she saved up, how she's paying her bills with one or two live streams a month and one video a week. Please. Okay. So you're obsessed with Foodie Beauty. You talking about Foodie Beauty. She doesn't care about you. She has extensively said how much she doesn't. Just because you're currently fake friends and frenemies and your allies, it doesn't mean that she genuinely cares for you. She's already made her feelings known. She said that she doesn't care for you in the past. Okay. So just because she's faking it now, it's phenomenal. By the way, part of being on YouTube is having people say outrageous lies to you and having people say mean comments. They say it to all of us. They've said it to me for what, 12 years? If I responded to every single mean comment, I'd never be able to, you know, take a shower. It was a good segue for this. So listen, girls. She says, I always shower. And oh, it was my hair washing day, and I needed to, shower and, do my hair before I went to bed. But now my hair is dry. Nobody cares about this. This is actually content. She also gave us the riveting content of literally saying in the live stream, oh, it's been so hot. Really? You don't say. July 2025. Hans Christian Pookie Reid. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Did you just say that it's hot outside as your content? That 1 hour live stream. And that's all you have to say. It's hot outside, you showered. Amber, the more that you tell us that you shower and that you always shower, first of all, how can you say you always shower when all of your exes, well, the ones that did speak out, said that you did not shower and that your hygiene was not what you're claiming that it is? But then she says she just loves to shower at night, and that's what she does mainly. So just for those of you that are keeping up, she does admit that she doesn't shower in the morning, she showers at night. So that must be amazing for everyone around. Okay. She reads out that the haters, the bill payers, the people that actually pay your bills, Pookie, are irrational and need to get a life. Really, if they didn't watch you, you would not be able to pay your bills, and you would be a burden onto your mommy even more than you are currently, because you'd be living with her. It's amazing. She continues not to understand that without people watching her and having a negative interest in her, she couldn't pay any bills at all. I love that for you, Pookie. Okay, so people ask her like what medicine she's taking. Basically, surprise, surprise, she has decided that she is refusing to take her blood pressure medicine. She says that she wants to lower her blood pressure naturally and in general. As most of you that watch my channel, I would never talk about this next part. I'm just recapping it. I'm not judging her for it. She says that, her doctor told her that, when she gets healthier, then her blood pressure will go down naturally. Okay, I'm just recapping it, have nothing to say about that part. Then she says that she is not taking the blood pressure medicine because her blood pressure, listen to this, is only high when she's anxious at the doctor's office, but then it goes down, and it's totally normal when she's at her house. But admits that when she's at home and at her house and her blood pressure is completely normal, or so she claims, she doesn't actually have a blood pressure monitor to monitor it with. So how do you know that your blood pressure is normal if you can't measure it every day? Here's a news flash. If you have just recently been put on that type of medicine, you actually have to measure your blood pressure every single day with a monitor at home. Any cardiologist will tell you that. That's okay, Pookie. Whatever fairy tale you're living in. So basically, she says she's also scared of the effects of the medicine making her dizzy. She also says that she doesn't want her blood pressure to become too low from the effects of the medicine. Can you imagine having her as a patient? Amber, everything that I've just repeated that you have just said makes absolutely no sense. The whole thing that I just said a second ago about measuring your blood pressure every day with a monitor would get rid of that little problem that you just mentioned. You are completely ignoring doctor's advice. They wanted to put you on this medicine for a reason. Unbelievable. I just wanted to say one thing. This doesn't even make any sense because you haven't even taken that medicine. So how do you know you'll have those side effects? Do you know how many people I personally know that take that medicine? There's a few different medicines for that condition, okay? Possible side effect. Here's a wild idea. There's possible side effects to everything that you can take, right? So the best part is that she's lying to you about something and on purpose leaving it out. She has always had a history of having higher blood pressure. She's a manipulator. She's a gaslighter. She's making you question your own sanity. She on purpose will say something that is true. Here's a statement that is true. A lot of people, especially when they're nervous at the doctor's office, yeah, their blood pressure will go up and then it'll come down and it'll be average and normal, when they're no longer stressed or anxious at the doctor's office. I understand that. But as Hans Christian Pookie Reid would tell you, two things can be true at the same time. That being said, I do believe her that she's experiencing this because a lot of people do, but you don't know what your blood pressure is on a day-to-day basis at home because you don't have a monitor and you haven't been measuring it. And by the way, you do understand what's going on here. She was told she needs to be on this medicine. She's refusing it because she's scared of what? Let me tell you something. This is just my personal opinion, and I think it's also common sense. You continuing to walk around with higher blood pressure is way more serious than anything else that can happen here with you, taking the prescribed medicine. As always, she's not going to take it. I mean, what else is new? Okay. She also says that she weighed herself recently. Again, no judgments. I'm just recapping it. Otherwise, I don't talk about these type of things in my video, but since this is a recap, she did say she's weighing herself. I believe she said something about losing weight. Congratulations, whatever. Wish you all the best with that, as always. She also says that people started a rumor today. They believe that she started it herself. And she's like, oh, started what? Huh? What? I don't understand. The typical manipulation that she likes to say. And she was like, oh, yeah, I wasn't here right now. Oh, that's what you mean? Oh, okay, yeah. It's an amazing time to be alive. Imagine manipulating every single thing you don't want to talk about. It's a basic manipulation, rudimentary. I love that word, rudimentary manipulation tactics. Somebody's like, hey, did you know somebody started a rumor? I started it. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Yes, Amber, you really are confused because this is the best part. She always tells it herself as well. At the same time, says that it wasn't her and knew everything about the rumor because she brought it up herself. Imagine, claims she has no idea about anything that's going on, but brings it up herself. If you didn't know, how would you be able to bring it up? I mean, honestly, this is rudimentary manipulation tactics for what? Like people that have never been manipulated before by Hans Christian Amber Reid, right? Okay. She also says that her electric, like her power went out and she was, scared for a minute because she was like, oh, I'm so prompt with paying my bills and I can't believe that this happened. Did I not pay my electric bill? And she's like, because I'm so prompt in paying my bills. Another thing that she on purpose is leaving out, when she first moved here, she didn't pay her electricity bill and they turned off her power. It's an amazing time to be alive. By the way, no judgments here. I don't really care. This has happened to many people. Sometimes you just forget to pay a bill. So it's not that they turned off her electricity that I care about because this is a natural thing that can happen to people. I'm not judging her for it. Why manipulate and lie about it by saying it never happened? Pookie Reid is reading This Never Happened magazine on page This Definitely Didn't Happen. She mentions how she did one of her expert Legos while she was with ex-wifey Feline, and she says that she gave the Lego to Feline's dad, and he kept it in like some room that he had. And here's the thing, that's fine. I just find it really odd that she's talking about this. Why are you bringing up wifey and that you gave her father an expert Lego? My point here is this. People talk about what they think about. What do I always tell you? And listen, if you take nothing away from these videos, I just hope you believe me on this, okay? Believe me on one thing. People talk about what they think about. It is very unlikely that somebody will bring something up that they haven't already ran through their mind a few times. She's still thinking about wifey. She is, okay? Also, there is a very long conversation that I'm going to try to condense for you about her being interested in women, okay? And she says that she's not interested in men. Great, fabulous. There's a question about that guy that she was talking on the phone with. And she said ultimately they stopped speaking because it just didn't feel right to her. She's just not interested in men. Again, wonderful. My personal opinion on that, if you're interested, is that I believe that he just stopped talking to her. That's what I think. So she says when she was talking to him, she was lonely. She was in a bad place in her life. Okay. And that's fine. Okay. She then says that she has had, quote, ample opportunity to get with men, but it's just not her thing. She could never fall in love. She likes girls. Okay, again, fabulous, wonderful. And then she proceeds to say that if like being with women wasn't a thing, then she would just pretty much be interested in everybody. Well, here's the thing. Isn't that how you are right now? This is what I know about you, okay? You come onto YouTube and you tell us about all the guys that want you and how many men compliment you. And basically, the majority of your videos are actually about men, not women. Ample opportunity, emphasizing the word. This is a vocabulary channel. Ample opportunity. Amber, thank you for telling us that all the guys want you. We still don't care. Like, I don't care who she's interested in. Women, men, interested in women. All of your videos are about how guys want you, how you're flirting with guys, how your DoorDash driver is writing you 17 emails. Like, honestly, Amber, whoever you're interested in, the number one thing I want to say is none of us care, okay? None of us care. She then says that she really enjoyed the attention that that guy gave her, that she was chatting with on the phone. Really? How shocking and surprising. And then she also talks about that lake that she used to swim in with Twinkie, and she says she would never go into it now. Amber, again, nobody cares. How is this your content? Anyways, thing that I really did enjoy about this live stream, it was an hour. An hour versus 2 hours is always better when somebody is manipulating you and lying to you. So basically, she had a giant breakdown over Tommy and Rarity, and I think it's fake. Those are my thoughts on it. All right, well, that's about it for today's video. Thank you all so very much for being here and watching. Check out this other video that's popping up here on a similar topic. Let me know what you think about this entire video in the comments and questions and dislikes down below. And I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.